I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shooting Show, and certainly welcome to today's program. We have a great show for you, and I tell you what, friends, hey, we're on again this week. We're so appreciative of all your contributions. We appreciate you supporting our sponsors, because you know what? When you call our sponsors and ask for a catalog or offer to buy one of their products, it helps them justify the money they spend with us here on the show. It is very, very important, and please, if you will, support our sponsors. Besides that, you see things here on this program you don't see anywhere else on television. You see the Georgia Arms, their great lineup of ammunition. You see the 1919 Browning conversion from our good friend Tim with NWI. You certainly see the Old West Mercantile, and you see other products that you don't see anywhere else on television. And these people are making a statement on behalf of themselves and us as gun owners. Friends, we're losing this battle as we speak to own our guns. We're losing the battle for our freedom here in our country. We keep saying over and over and over, more of us out there have got to become involved. We've got to start doing what we can. That's all we ask, is do what we can. One of the ways that you can make a difference, because of you, is how we're here today. One of the ways you can make a difference is to contribute to our project. Because you know what? Every time a shooting show airs, every time it's another show on the internet, it goes into television sets all over this country, it gives inspiration to people that may have given up. I can't tell you how many people have called me over time and said, Johnny, I just don't know what we can do. You know, it just looks like they've got us on the run, the liberal anti-gun establishment, the socialists. It just looks like that they've got us on the run. There's nothing we can do. There is something you can do. You can certainly get involved in voting and in letter writing, and you can help support this project, because you know what, friends? Every time the truth goes out is one more time it's desperately needed. Right now, we don't know what the NRA is going to do. I wish them luck. I wish they'd support our project. You know, we keep trying to talk to them. For now, though, in our opinion, the best gun owners organization, or two of the best, let me say that, are Gun Owners of America, our friend Larry Pratt, but also Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership. Aaron Zellman is a real winner. They've got some literary materials that are tremendous. That's all we can say, and we certainly are in support of them. Well, friends, we have a great show for you today. We're going to do a book review. We have a tape review. We're going to go back and get some footage from our Fun Gun Weekend. We have an interview I think we're going to get on today with Sheriff Jim Wilson. But, you know, one of the reasons that we're in support of companies like Kimber, even though they haven't spent any money with us, they've been helpful to our project, loaning us guns for one thing. But you know what? We're so pleased that a small company, just like the Dan Wesson Company, small company, but they're building superior revolvers. The Kimber Company has literally come from out of nowhere. Of course, they've been around for several years, but literally the company's come out of nowhere, and they build the best out-of-the-box 45, as far as I'm concerned, that has ever been built. Small company, and they're whipping the daylights out of some well-known large companies that also happen to make 1911s. And that does me a lot of good, because here you have individuals that shoot guns that build not a quality product, but a superior product. And so many of the companies in the gun industry have sat around on their laurels and figured, well, that's good enough. The public, they don't know any better. One company says they're not going to shoot the guns anyway. Believe it or not, one of the largest gun companies figured that 87% of the guns they sell won't be shot anyway, so why build them right? Isn't that amazing? Well, guess what, friends? We've got certainly at least two smaller companies that make guns, Kimber and Dan Wesson, that are making superior guns. Small companies. It goes to show the importance and the value of the individuals that work there. Just like us, you and me, and all of us who are watching this show, the ones who help on this project, the individual is everything. Because you know who's going to stand up for your freedom? It's not going to be some army somewhere. It's going to be a bunch of individuals. You know who fought the war of 1776? It was a whole bunch of individuals who believed in what they were doing. And I tell you what, friends, right now we're in the worst war, the worst struggles, not war yet, in fact it's a Cold War or political war. We're in the worst struggle for our freedom in the history of this country. Will you please join us? Will you help us reach more people? Please contribute whatever you can to the shooting show. 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Duberly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. If you can help sponsor our show, if you want to talk to us about advertising or getting in our support group, you can call us area 318-377-5189. Friends, it has got to be done. You know, here we are again this week, thanks to you. We still have our collectible Dan Wesson gun for sale, our shooting show number 3. We still have it for sale. If someone could buy it, it would help us greatly. So anyway, friends, please do what you can, because that's how we're here. You know, we don't plan a week or a month or 6 months ahead. We just plan for the next show. It has to be done, friends. Well, let's get another shooting show underway. I'm going to use our Kimber today. You know, this is the compact model, and I saw in some magazine here a while back, they said the compact Kimber held 6 rounds in the magazine. Well, they weren't paying attention. Some of the gun magazines, I tell you, it's like, okay, you wonder if they really went out and shot them, because the Kimber standard magazine holds 7 in the compact model. And it's just like they went over and over a 6-round magazine. No. The standard Kimber magazine is 7, because it has the Chip McCormick, the Shooting Star follower. It holds 7. So anyway, it does hold 7. And let's see our little Kimber in action with some jacketed hollow point ammunition. Well, you know, yeah, it takes that 7-round magazine. It'll also take a standard, a Wilson or a McCormick 8-round magazine, but let me tell you what. Our small Kimber will also take the Chip McCormick 10-round magazine. And friends, I'm proud to report this great Chip McCormick magazine, as you saw, works really well. But you know, certainly these are great for competition and for backup, but as far as ease of carrying in the 45 ACP chamber, 7's plenty. And let's go on with another shooting show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here with certainly a great friend to shooters, someone that a lot of you have read many things that he's written, and our special guest here at the Fun Gun Weekend. This is Sheriff Jim Wilson, and Jim, we really appreciate you coming up to join us this weekend.
It's my pleasure. I've sure had a good time. Had a big time out here.
Have you seen some? I know you're a good shooter yourself, but have you seen some remarkable things?
I really have. Jerry Miculek just impressed me considerably with that fast double-action pistol shooting, and his wife's not any slouch either. She's pretty good.
Well,
good shooting and good people out.
You know, when they practice, you know, of course she's world champion IPSC shooter, and Jerry's the fastest revolver shooter in the world. So it's remarkable. Of course, let's don't leave out Jim Clark Jr. either, because
no, he's no slouch. That's right.
Absolutely not.
That's really true.
Well, you came up with Evan Quiros and some other folks.
Flew over with Evan Quiros, that's Skeeter's old pal from Laredo, and Jack Compton's police chief at Alice down in South Texas, and Jack's an old border U.S. Customs agent. He worked with Skeeter down on the border, and so we've had a good time, just had a big time over here. And our country over there is all dry. We're in a drought, and so we come over here, this pretty green country, and it's nice to be over here. Sure is.
Well, tell us something, Jim. Where are you actually from now?
I live about 20 miles southwest of San Angelo, Texas, out in West Texas.
And of course, you were you were sheriff for many years, and you've actually gotten out of the political business, right?
Well, I retired from law enforcement in '96, and I'm writing full-time for Shooting Times magazine now.
Well, I would like to add, as far as I'm concerned, the best shooting magazine. We'll give them that, because
you bet.
It's really true. They have the best staff of writers.
Well, we make an effort. We try to, you know, give our readers a variety and try to give them the kind of articles that they like.
How do you, when you're formulating an article, how do you do that? Do you just riding along in the truck one day and say, well, I think I'll write about that?
Well, sometimes that happens. I hear a lot from my readers. They write, they call me, and they'll suggest stuff. It's amazing how many things they'll suggest that they're interested in this or interested in that, and then I try to incorporate that in an article and do that kind of thing for them.
Well, another thing too, you being in law enforcement, of course, from the part of the country you're from, guns and ammunition is a very important, more so than some other places in the country. You folks have been exposed to a little more action down, unfortunately, in some ways.
Well, that's true. Guns in the country I live in, guns are just other tools of the rural people. Much like here in Louisiana and East Texas. Rural people consider guns tools. We think you ought to be careful with them, but we think a grown person ought to own one.
Ought to own at least one.
That's right.
Well, again, I've talked to so many people that have enjoyed meeting you. We appreciate it. What do you have coming up? You say we're going to have a book out here?
I'm projecting finishing a book by the end of this summer, and hopefully it'll be out for Christmas sales. So we're working on that, and of course continuing to work for Shooting Times.
Well, that's great, sir. We certainly will. If you'll send us a promo copy, that's a good way for us to get a copy of the book. Send us a doggone copy of the book. We'll get it on the show.
I bet we can handle that. You bet you.
Well, Jim, again, thank you so much for your efforts here. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy visiting with you here on the camera. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You bet.
Hi, I'm Richie Towery at Old West Mercantile. We sure do appreciate your phone calls and your emails. We also want to remind you we have a tremendous selection of suspenders, boots, and hats. We can outfit just about anybody, but we'd like to help you with your Old West attire.
Friends, let me tell you about the finest western store west of the Mississippi River. It's the Old West Mercantile, located right here at 2576 East Texas in Bossier City, Louisiana. They sell a complete line of classic Old West style clothing for cowboy action shooters or for those who just like the look of the Old West. They have all sorts of custom hats and leather goods and boots and western specialties. They have a full line of ladies' clothing, including western wedding attire. They have guns and gear featuring authentic Colts and Winchesters and Rugers and Rossies and others, and even some black powder supplies. This is the place to find it all. If they don't have it, they'll get it. So take a step back in time and meet Randy and the family. For a free brochure, call 1-800-493-9972, or their website is oldwestmercantile.com. The coffee, Arbuckle, of course, is always on, and remember, they'll be your huckleberry.
Stay tuned for more of The Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. And now, friends, we're going back to some tape footage we shot on our Fun Gun Weekend. Of course, that's where the tape from Sheriff Jim Wilson. Now we're going to watch Jim Clark Jr. and part of his demonstration.
Armalite 243. 4. Some people ask, is this a assault weapon? If you look at the news every night, you'll say yes, it is. What I want to show you is the firepower that the gun does demonstrate, and then the accuracy that the gun has, inherently, because of the floated forearm. It's got a good match caliber barrel on it. The trigger is about 3 pounds, no take-up, no crisp pull. We've got a Harris bipod, we've got a Clark muzzle brake. And what you'll see there is the lack of muzzle rise in this light, fast bullet. What I want to do now is show you how effective that muzzle brake is, and some things you might use the AR-15 for other than a weapon. Let's call it a door knocker. If you'll watch the plate out near the 100-yard berm, white plate, and what I'm going to do is just put a burst on it for you. All right, 100-yard plate. See the controllability of that gun with that muzzle brake on it. When I fire that weapon, the crosshair is not even moving far enough to get off the plate, even at that speed. And I'm shooting strictly military ball ammo. Is the inherent accuracy of this gun. You obviously see that it'll shoot very fast. What I want to do is the third berm. You'll see 2 pigs sitting on it. It's 300 meters. 300 meters is a pretty good deer shot. Let's see how it is with the AR. We're shooting a little high today. If you look down at 400 meters, you see the 2 4-H, or the pieces of plywood. Between them, there's a ram. There you go. I'll show you what the 55 grain bullet will do, and hopefully it'll launch that Coke can on top of it high enough that I can put the rifle down, grab the shotgun, and shoot the Coke can. We'll see. As soon as I set the Coke can back on top, it looked like it's blown off. Jim, you didn't have to carry your guns all back.
No.
Nice breeze, man.
Yeah, it feels good. Alright, I'm going to shoot the bucket, throw the Coke can in the air, and possibly shoot it with a shotgun.
I want some of them bullets.
A lot of times is combat shooting. And he showed you some of the pistols we use in combat shooting. Well, they all also have IPSC 3-gun. This is my IPSC 3-gun rifle. And I don't really have a Corsa fire set up here, but what I'm going to do is just shoot 2 or 3 shots offhand on the stationary plate here, the short one. I'll run over and go kneeling or sitting, shoot 2 or 3 shots on the 100-yard plate, and I'll run over a few more steps and shoot the pepper poppers at 200 meters. There was 4 of them, but some of them have already blown over, so I'll shoot what's remaining. You see this? This is kind of like what it looked like when Gary started shooting at that. So it's all I've been fortunate enough in my life to do a lot of hunting and hung around a lot of hunting camps. hear about a lot of real good shots. Famous shots are phantom shots. A lot of time old Bubba comes in, he says, man, I killed a deer at 100 yards with my shotgun. That's pretty fair. What if he said he killed one at 218 yards with a shotgun? This is not a rifle to barrel, it's not a rifle choke, and these are just lead slugs, not savage slugs. Let's just check and see. See the rams on the 200-meter rail?
Metal silhouette.
The way things are going today, y'all notice I'm loading a whole lot more than 2 shells.
On the right side, those metal things.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Walt Hearn. He is the machine gun demoer today, a demo person. And Walt, of course, has quite a collection. Walt, briefly tell us, we're going to do a quick run through while they're out setting targets on what these guns are, sir.
Okay, not all of these are mine, not by a far shot, but between our members, the first gun we have here is a 1914 Lewis gun dating from the First World War. It's in .303 British. Next up is a Browning 1918 A1 BAR, Browning automatic.
And friends, there's a reason that these guns do not have magazines. We have people down range. They're just sitting now, completely unloaded.
That's
no
correct.
Belts, no magazines, no nothing. There's no chance of any
That's
accident.
correct.
Yes. Go ahead, Walt.
The next gun we have is a .303 Vickers. The reason there's 2 water bottles sitting next to it is it's a water-cooled, belt-fed machine gun. This one was designed in about 1909. This gun was actually produced in 1931, and it was a standby for the British Army through the First World War, the Second World War, Korea, up into the 1960s. Our own Army, the United States Army, adopted this gun in 30-06 as the model 1915. And for those of you who like to shoot Perazzi shotguns, the true sign of class in shooting is not shooting a $10,000 shotgun at skeet, it's using Evian water in the water jacket of your machine gun.
But wait a minute, hold up, Walt. You got some golf clubs. What you got golf clubs out here for?
Well,
I mean, wait a minute. I mean, have we reached ridiculous proportions?
No.
Wait a minute. Wait, what's in the golf bag there?
some of us think that a golf course is a perfectly good waste of a shooting range, so John keeps in his golf bag his Browning 1919 belt fed. And we've also seen Dr. Strangelove a few times.
What an accessory is all I can say. What an accessory for your golfing.
The next gun that we have here is the German MG42, Maschinengewehr 42. This was a gun that was given the nickname Hitler's Zipper during the Second World War. It's the first true general-purpose machine gun, and it fires at a rate of fire of about 1,200 rounds per minute. For those of you people that are generally 1 box a year shooters, this will go through your 1 box in about 1 second.
My goodness. And walking on down, of course.
This is Godzilla. Godzilla is a Browning M2 50 caliber heavy barrel machine gun. These guns were initially John Browning starting development during the end of the First World War. The Army adopted the first ones in 1921 as water-cooled. The first heavy barrel, solid barrel ground guns were developed in the 1930s. And this gun also, with a different barrel and cooling shroud, was the standard armament for most aircraft during the Second World War. These guns are still in production, still in use. And many of you have heard on shotguns about a Belgian Browning. Well, this is a Belgian Browning. This gun was actually made by Fabrique Nationale in Liège, Belgium, and at one time it served with the Israeli Army.
Well, I want to say how much we appreciate you folks going to all this trouble for us. And so many people have enjoyed your demonstration yesterday. We're looking forward to it today. and all people all over America are really going to enjoy your demonstrations.
Well, Johnny, thank you for giving us this chance to show our stuff to the world.
303 Enfield. They were originally produced during the Second World War by the British Special Operations Executive. From the receiver back, it's a regular bolt-action Enfield. Forward, it's been modified to shoot 45 auto, and that large black can is a very, very efficient suppressor. Now, when Jay shoots it, the first time he shoots it, he's just going to click it off. He's not going to have any ammo in it. And then compare that with the second shot, which is when he actually fires a round.
That was it, friends.
We're being watched.
You will notice he did hit the can. He did hit the bottle. The bottle is leaking. Hurry up before it bleeds to death.
And Uzi, standard Israeli Uzi, weighs about 9.5 pounds loaded, fires at about 550 rounds per minute. For those of you who are at least moderately into guns, you know that the 45 round is generally a subsonic round. 9mm has mostly been a supersonic round through its history. Here, though, in the past years, you may have heard of the 147-grain subsonic rounds, which were developed initially for the SEALs. Well, what John's going to show you is the difference between subsonic and supersonic ammo. You won't need your hearing protection, but it is kind of dramatic as to what the difference is. First should be subsonic ammo.
Above sonic, supersonic ammo. See the difference in the noise. Feels pretty quiet. Watch out here at the backstop.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is, the great Georgia Arms ammunition. Notice these ballistic tip nodular bullets in this Georgia Arms ammunition. You see, this is equivalent to a box of 20 for only $7.95. Now, friends, that is a terrific price for essentially custom-loaded ammunition. Of course, for the plain full metal jacket, it is much less expensive. Here's another tremendous bag of Georgia Arms ammunition, 7mm Remington Magnum, 20 rounds, only $17.95, loaded with these premium Nosler ballistic tips. I tell you, this is custom ammunition at a discount price. Tell you what, friends, the good people at Georgia Arms do understand what's going on in this country. They understand how important our gun rights are, and they're supporting us on this project. The good news is you can get absolutely superior ammunition at discount prices, whether you have a handgun or a rifle. If you want to take that big hunt, you can afford to practice with your rifle as well as use that same ammunition on the hunt because they are so reasonably priced. These are some of the nicest people we have ever met in this business, bar none, and they're down in beautiful Villa Rica, Georgia. So please, friends, if you would, you can get a free catalog with a free phone call. That's as good as the deal gets. A free catalog, free phone call, 1-800-624-6861. Again, Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861. And please tell them you saw it here on our shooting show.
Now, friends, remember, you can get our 41 Magnum Defense Special ammunition that we helped develop in conjunction with Georgia Arms. And, of course, they're always adding new calibers. Now you can order 454 Casull and 357 SIG, and their catalog is just full of really, really great ammunition for your handgun or for your rifle. I will remind you that we've been in development, and they actually have new cases, the 45 double action Colt, which you will be seeing here on the program. They're going to have loaded ammunition and cases available for those folks out there. This is really an exciting development. Please, friends, give them a call. You'll really enjoy reading their catalog. Call them 1-800-624-6861. Again, tell them you saw it here on our show.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down at the Dan Wesson booth here under the shed, and this is Bob Serva on your right. He's the president of Dan Wesson. Bob, how you doing? Have
Great, Johnny. Excellent show so far. Excellent.
And this gentleman over on your left is Lou Sharp, and Lou is a manufacturer's representative, so you're in charge of handling some special projects and things, Lou?
Yes, I do special programs for Dan Wesson with agencies and special customers.
Well, we certainly appreciate you folks coming down here this weekend. You've really had a lot of people come by that wanted to see the new Dan Wesson, hadn't you, Bob?
Been a great turnover of people coming in, looking at the products, and everybody seems real excited about the new line and Dan Wesson coming back. So should be real accepted real well.
Well, I tell you what, friends, they were brave enough. We were out here shooting yesterday after they went back to the hotel. They were brave enough to leave a brand new Dan Wesson gun with us, a shooting show delegation, I'd like to say. And the first thing I said is, well, let's see if the old gun will shoot. And it did perform extremely well. Workmanship looks great. And
thank you.
You're looking to really some good quality control. And
exactly. We've revamped the entire factory from the manufacturing all the way down to the quality departments.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that gun that you loaned us is any representation, it's going to be really good. Lou, anything in particular, anything special you've got coming up as far as promotions and things go with this?
Well, we're working on several customers from the commemorative side down to the actual shooter side, hunter, someone interested in buying a special gun to use to hunt deer or any other kind of big game in this country.
I'll tell you what, the Dan Wesson, at 445, some of the calibers they offer, you can hunt about anything on the North American continent.
Exactly.
That's absolutely right. It's very flexible, and people are seeing that here at the show. They're seeing the different models and what applications, all the way from silhouette shooting to game hunting.
Well, one of the great things, we're going to take a closer look at some of the things they're offering. Leather, all kinds of accessories and things that just hadn't been available now for a couple of years anyway, several years, I guess.
So, Bob, again, we appreciate your participation. This has been, as I said on the radio earlier today, it's been the best shooting exhibition as far as things shown and the quality of the crowd. Best shooting exhibition held in the United States this year was right here this weekend. It has been, you could not ask for nicer people. Would you folks agree with that?
I sure would, yeah. Everybody had a good time looking at the products and also using them. So they all had an opportunity to shoot any type of caliber they wanted, and really made people happy, it seemed.
Well, in fact, let's take a closer look at just some of the new product line that you folks have. Let's do that right now.
All right.
Friends, bear in mind we've got a little gunfire going on up in the shed, but this is a very special gun that Bob's holding. Bob, tell us about your new line here, sir.
Well, this is a 44 Magnum, and we've vamped this for IDPA shooting under some of your suggestions. We've engraved this with the Shooting Show logo. It will be offered through one of our distributors and you.
Well, we really appreciate that. Tell us some of the manufacturing differences, some differences you've made since you've taken the company.
Our finishing processes are much different than were done in the old company. Our engraving is all done by laser now, not just on our shroud, but on our serial number areas. The serial number and shroud on all the guns produced in the first year of issue. We'll have a first issue logo front with Dan Weston's signature and the matching serial number here and on the receiver as normal. There's also a first issue under the grip, which you can't see here, but it'll be one under the grip. Just distinguish it's a first issue gun, which will give it a little bit more collectible value. The sights, we've changed our rear sights to basically millet sights. On our standard guns, you can get white outline or the black target. The silhouette narrow notch is also available for rear sights. Hoe grips is a standard feature right now for the grip styles. We also have wood and several others. Some of the other basic changes we have made are the barrel nut on the front of the gun. We've gone to 4 notches. Before there was only 2 notches in the barrel nut, and if somebody had a problem with stripping the notch out, they had a real difficulty getting their barrel off. So we've gone with a safety notch to ensure that you can still remove your barrel if you bugger the nut up in some form. We've also have done extensive lasering inside for the model number. None of the guns before basically we had model numbers on them, and the current. Most of the people out there did not know what they owned. They'd buy a second-hand gun, didn't know, so we started lasering the model number right inside the gun.
Plus, you're going to have all kinds of barrel configurations from heavy to...
Well, this gun here, for example, you have a lightweight 5-inch shroud offered. We also have a heavyweight with the same exact serial number barrel assembly offered to go with this gun in a matching set. Another addition we made was a change to the barrel wrench in the packaging.
Which I really like that. That's a great idea.
The packaging, we went to a closed cell foam with extra compartments to put extra barrel assemblies in for housing barrel assemblies. We also went to a new wrench. We've stopped the plastic design.
Really good idea.
A new metallic design with a pre-hardened steel insert, nylon guide so you don't hurt your barrel. And again, it'll also give you more straight downward pressure on the nut, so you have less chance of torquing the nut off and strip.
Good idea.
So we no longer produce the fixed barrel models. All the Dan Wessons were brought back to the original state of the interchangeable barrel system, and that'll carry on through all the calibers.
Well, show us some of the variations you're doing now as far as we have obviously a very long barrel gun right here in front of us. And
yeah, we have. We start out with our standard models, as you've seen, as I just shown. We go to some of the longer barrel models, 10-inch, 4 and 445 Super Mags. We also make available now our compensated model. This is a 4-inch compensated model. Again, it's 445 Super Mag, millet sight.
Which I would imagine in that big caliber compensator really does help. We've shot them before, and they really do work well.
Depending on your load, it'll cut your recoil down up to 51% on our compensation system. So.
I know they do work.
We also have scoped versions of the shrouds, which you can buy drilled and tapped for burr-style mounts. Again, can be interchanged right onto any the same caliber gun.
Now, what is this, since we're here on this end of the table now, what is this leather here?
Well, this is new leather accessory line we brought now. There was really good production holsters made for the Dan Wesson in leather. We wanted to make sure we supported that.
Now, what I'm seeing, friends, we have an obvious swivel here, so you can get in your automobile and you can move it. Am I correct there, Bob?
Exactly. Well, we try to. Everybody understands the Dan Wesson gun is quite heavy and large, and that's why. People that's what they want. And what we wanted to do is make that sure that the holsters were comfortable enough for the people to wear. So as you sat down with a long barrel gun, the actual firearm would move for you. We make several different styles.
A great idea. Absolutely a superior idea. I'm so pleased to see this.
One style is shrouded. And there's also a cross draw style. This is in the shoulder rig, and we also have the cross draw style that will go basically across the front of you, and it will allow you to draw the gun easily out the front.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like you've really done your homework. Let's ease on down and take a look now. Why do we have a slotted shroud on, say, this gun right here?
Here's another version of our 445 Super Mag, and this one is our Super Ram gun. We are going to have a hooded version also for the front sight. You have to make a 4-pound weight limit.
So you actually cut, and there's no loss of strength.
No.
It's just the shroud is like a big brace for the barrel. It has no, in fact, we're going to show you something in just a few minutes talking about the integrity of the Dan Wesson barrels that, friends, you're not going to believe. We have a remarkable demonstration. Didn't start out that way, but it turned into a demonstration of the strength inherent in the Dan Wesson design.
But the new Super Ram gun will be offered in most of our Super Mag calibers and 44 Magnum. It'll also have Bomar sights as a standard feature to the gun, which a lot of our targeting people really wanted.
Right.
So we're trying to give the customer what they're asking for. And we'll be, again, offering both stainless and carbon versions. Right now, basic production is on the large frame guns and Super Mag series, and we will be starting production on the small frame series, which would be the 22s and 357 Magnums.
And we're just going to show something here that we have a beautifully engraved gun here that we're just going to highlight just for a moment. Now, you can offer engraving, is that right?
Yes, we can. Yeah, laser engraving and also.
Hey, let's get up and take a little closer look at this. This is so remarkable. Friends, I want you to see this. If I can. Now then, look at the detail. Of course, isn't that something? My goodness.
And when our Hunter pack comes out, that will also encompass a custom knife with matching serial numbers with the gun.
Oh, that's great. And of course, here you have exhibited the little gun you loaned us a few weeks ago, the revolving rifle. Not many of those. And I'll tell you what, let's show that demonstration barrel there now. That looks like half a barrel, Bob.
Yeah,
what is that?
Much. Well, this is a cutaway version of a customer's gun they sent back in. There was a customer that actually sent his gun in and said that he was having problems. He couldn't hit anything, and his cylinder wouldn't turn anymore. Pretty obvious his cylinder wouldn't turn because he had a bullet jam between the forcing cone and the
friends, look at this. I think you can see the bullet on the end, and he didn't realize that one had stuck in the barrel, so he continued to shoot. And we see solid lead and jacket material all the way back to the forcing cone.
Must have had a squib load and then continued to fire behind it, and there's actually 16 shots that were fired into this barrel, and the barrel and shroud did not burst, which has a lot to say about the strength of the action.
Absolutely phenomenal.
And with a shroud change, the gun was still shootable.
Just fantastic. Now, friends, this gun belongs to one of our viewers. Actually, this is Dennis Ritchie's gun. It's a 357 Maximum or Super Mag that Bob is holding now. Of course, the gun is in absolutely brand new condition. Now I understand. I probably shouldn't ask Dennis if he'd leave that with us for a couple of weeks so we could shoot it, because that gun is just as beautiful, brand new. Now, Bob, you're going to continue with the Super Mag guns, am I correct?
Yes, we are. We'll be producing the entire Super Mag series from the 357 Super Mag all the way to the 445.
Well, I'll tell you, it's exciting, and certainly I know that a lot of people that were Dan Wesson owners have really enjoyed meeting and visiting with you folks here.
Yep, they sure have, and we've enjoyed being here. It's been a great shoot, and real lot of flexibility with the range and everything, and being right at the range is very important.
People have had a chance to try the compensated models right up to the full bolt 445s, and had a lot of fun.
And got to talk with the head of the company while they were doing it.
Exactly.
So we, again, thank you so much for your efforts, Bob. And
well, thank you.
I promise you this, Dan Wilson Guns are going to get some good press on the shooting show because you and they deserve it.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
Now, friends, what you're looking at here is some of our shooting show steel dingers, and our good friend Bill Lewis is going to be selling these. They come in a variety of styles. Of course, when you shoot them, they make noise, they move, but you don't have to reset them. And all you have to do to make them like as in brand new is just take a little paint and put on them there. This is a great target for cowboy action shooters or just for somebody out having fun. Give Bill a call, area 770-974-9699. Again, for our shooting show model dinger, Bill Lewis, 770-974-9699. Now, friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today. NWI for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod. But these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI, area 503-429-5001. Now, friends, I want to remind you, Tim has some 50 Browning versions of the semi-automatic machine guns that are available, very limited number. Of course, none of these guns will be available forever. That's what we foresee now with the current climate toward this type of gun. But listen, you can still own them, so give them a call out there, area 503-429-5001 for a real piece of history and a great shooter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying our program. We are indeed proud to be here. Many times you'll hear me say that we're proud to be here because we are. You recognize my good friend Leroy Scott. Sir, how you doing today?
I'm fine, Johnny.
Well, a lot's going on, of course. Incidentally, you and I were talking a moment ago on some of the tactics that, and of course, this has been going through the news services this week of how Kathleen Willie, her tires were punctured on her car, her cat went missing, and some guy ran up to her when she was jogging out there by her home and named her children by name and seemed to make a threat and ask her, couldn't she get the message? But these people play hardball, don't they, Judge?
Well, if that's all true, yes.
Well, of course, it remains to be seen, friends, but realize some of these folks that are our opposition, and I say our opposition, the anti-gun people, the anti-freedom people, will go to any lengths at all, anything. Judge, you know what scares me? That there may be another staged tragedy. You know, if it's too long between tragedies where people are injured, so some of these power grabbers can take some more. That disturbs me. A lot of possibilities for tragedies. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, Johnny. There was a radio program here, a TV program some time ago that I believe Charles Bronson was in. And it was a program under which a number of people had been hypnotized and programmed to do something drastic upon receiving a message in certain words.
The tip-off or the trigger mechanism.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was a horrifying prospect. And I'm not at all sure that that's not the way some of these things have been going too.
Well, that's an awfully good point, Judge. We know that the Russians had dealt in extensive research into psychological warfare and doing things like this. And, of course, some things that have come out on our own intelligence services have been very, very disturbing on some of the tricks they've pulled. It is disturbing, and, friends, you can just look for some kind of disaster out there so they can come up and, you know, just like that airliner that crashed off the coast of New Jersey this past year, a little better, realized that it had no explosive that has been traceable. A lot of very educated people. In fact, there were 60 to 80 people that saw a missile hit that aircraft, but they're not going to admit it because it's thought to be Middle Eastern terrorists that did it. But what was the first thing they did after that air crash? Let's try and put targets and ammunition. Let's try and restrict gunpowder sales. Let's try and restrict weapons. You know, wasn't that the first thing that the Clintonians did?
Well, it was among the first, yeah.
Talk about how can they rob us of more freedom. You know, I talk to people all over the country every week. And, Judge, I was telling you a few minutes ago, I have never heard people so angry and so frustrated as I'm hearing people talk now. People feel that this situation cannot be turned around by the electoral process or by elections. They feel like there's going to have to be a terrible upheaval. But I haven't given up on the election system. Have you?
Well, it's all I've got left, Johnny. I can't give up on it.
Well, that's the whole point of us being here, friends, is to educate more Americans, because you know what? If enough of us become motivated and enough of us start doing what we can, but it's going to take everybody in it, Judge. It's going to take everybody who will.
Well, of course, the alternative to that is revolution, and I don't think that revolution can succeed with the massive power that's in the hands of a standing army, a standing navy, an air force, and Marines. They just remember the founding fathers didn't want those things. They did not want
standing. They didn't want a standing army, did they?
Not at all, and that was to be feared more than anything. Now we've got it. I don't know how we could get rid of it.
Well, of course, remember in the Freedom from War Act of the early 60s that, in fact, John F. Kennedy was a supporter of, they wanted to destroy or to dismantle every nation's armed forces and have just one United Nations Army.
That's worse than ever.
That's worse than ever, because they were saying no army could stand against a United Nations Army. They wanted the UN Army to be so big no one could stand against it. But in reality, what you would have would be a worldwide police state. And honestly, friends, the prospects on something like that happening are better than we ever would want them to be.
And if you think that taxation at the present time is confiscatory, just wait till that happens.
The United Nations tax?
Yeah.
Well, friends, that's what we're here, is talking about the freedom. That's what we're here for, is to talk about the freedom that we still have. And if you're seeing this program today, that means we've still got some freedom. And every last one of us has to get involved. And as I've said many times before, and I'll say it as many times as I have to, if you feel out there that you can't do anything, there is something important you can do. You can sit down and write a check to help us stay on the air, because every time this program airs, every time we go up with our radio show, every time we go up with our gospel show, all our programming, that's another instance of the truth getting to more people. It has to be done. And unfortunately, so many of our good conservatives have chosen to sit on the sidelines. And Judge, when you sit on the sidelines, you have to accept the winner regardless of who it is, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so, Johnny. I don't see any other answer to it.
Well, you know, we got in some information this past week of a number, in fact, it was around 10,000 Confederate soldiers and their families moved to South America, moved to Brazil, actually, after the Civil War. Now, they chose to leave. They were not going to live here in the United States under an occupation situation, and I didn't know about that. But they have a fraternal order of Confederate descendants in Brazil. But those folks said, no, we're not going to do it. They went to a new land. We don't have that option. Sir, I know there's no place else I want to go, huh?
There isn't any other place to go, Johnny.
So, friends, we've got to do it here. We have to do it here in the United States. We cannot afford to not become involved. We can't. Unless you're willing to take that police state that may be coming. It will come if we don't get active. Unless you're willing to be just another happy socialist, I don't believe they want you and I, do they, Judge?
Well, I know I'm on the execute list.
Well, a lot of us out there watching, I imagine you'd be surprised. Incidentally, even Gordon Liddy this week, and Gordon's pretty careful about what he says, but even Gordon Liddy talked about the detention camps that FEMA has. Remember, we've been talking about this for a good while now.
A couple of years.
Even Gordon says FEMA has, that's the Federal Emergency Management Administration, they have detention camps out there. Even Gordon. You know, we've showed pictures on this program that we suspect that's what it was, and we've heard about these things all over. And you talk about a quiet, that is a very low-profile, quiet group inside the government, but they're out there. You know, that's a real problem, and they're concerned about people like us who are not going to go along. We're not going to do it. And they know that, so they want a place to put us. What do you think?
Johnny, I don't have any comment on that. I can't improve on it.
Well, friends, that's what we're up against. And so many of our neighbors just ride down the road and say, darling, you want an ice cream cone? You know, they're absolutely asleep about what is going on around us. We have chosen to take our stand. We want to remain the free United States of America. You want to help us? You want to help us? That's how we're here today, is because some of you out there watching have helped. Some of you have. That's how we're here. If you want to see us continue, please, friends, please send whatever you can to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. It has to be done. You know what? We're not going to quit. Now, they may, you know, circumstances may force us off the air at some point. It may happen. But you know what? We're not going to quit, and I don't think you folks are going to quit either. We have to do this. We've got to get involved. Again, we want to promote Gun Owners of America, their efforts toward informing us about gun legislation. We certainly want to support Jews for the preservation of firearms ownership. Good outfit. Good outfit. So, any other comments you want to make, sir?
I don't guess so, Johnny.
Well, our Dan Wesson, number 3, is still for sale. Yes, we still need the money. Please, if you can, please help us. So, friends, we're going to keep on trying. You know, we won't give up on you, so please, as we like to say, please don't give up on us. And now for our support group, friends, we have our good friend Dennis Crocker, who's a firearms trainer. He's in South Carolina. His number is area 864-587-8722. We have Camouflage Technologies. They paint gun stocks. Their number is area 909-674-6488. Our good friends Dennis and Jeannie Ritchie with Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Their number is area 504-667-9225. And Flying Horse Galleries there. Great artwork on the internet. You can find them at www.flyinghorsegalleries on the internet. And our friend Bruce Warren with BC Armory in East Leroy, Michigan. His number is area 616-729-5508. And our friend Wayne Bearden with Holland Guard Service there in Meridian, Mississippi. His number is area 601-644-3950. And, of course, Clark Custom Guns here in Louisiana. Their number is area 318-949-9884. Friends, we're out of time.